The greatest mystery in the world's history. Where was Christ for 18 years, from the age of 12 to 30? Many sources state that at the age of 12, Christ went to Egypt, possibly to study things related to that land. But could he also have traveled to Tibet, India, and Persia? Some claim he went to India, but personally, I don't see how his journey would connect to Buddha's teachings. Even Alexander the Great didn't travel such distances in that way. Many people are raising an important question. What did Christ do during those years of silence? We know he was born in Bethlehem, then moved to Nazareth, just as the prophets had said. But could he really have traveled over 4,000 kilometers at that age? Not unless he was aided by heavenly power. After all, he lived a life like ours. And yet, people around him never recognized that he was God in human form. If he had stayed with his father the whole time, we would have known. So, if he didn't go to India and wasn't working as a carpenter with his father, then where was Christ?
In 1887, a man named Nicolas Notovitch claimed to have seen ancient scrolls shown to him by monks. These writings spoke of a powerful teacher named Issa, whom Notovitch believed was actually Christ. The scrolls described Issa traveling far and wide, learning about the cultures of Egypt, India, and beyond. If that's true, I'd say he was walking among the lost, trying to lead them to the truth. But even then, people often return to their old ways. For instance, someone might say, I love Christ's teachings about love, but still stay rooted in Buddhist thought or other beliefs, never truly following him. Unlike kingdoms that use war to conquer people, Christ used the word. This means he likely went from place to place preaching and teaching. I even ran a simulation to explore what Christ might have been doing during those 18 silent years. It said he traveled far, seeking wisdom and understanding about humanity, all while gaining deeper knowledge of heaven.
So, was he fully human at that time, having set aside his divine nature? Yes, he laid it down. Remember, he was crucified on the cross like any man. He even cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This shows he lived a normal human life while on earth. So the question becomes, how did he learn to perform miracles and defeat sin? It's claimed that Christ went far from Judea to places like India, Tibet, Persia, and Egypt. These 4 regions, when you look closely, are the foundation of world religions. So how do they all connect? Let's refer to the many ancient spiritual writings. The period from age 12 to 30 wasn't hidden, as many think. Instead, it was a critical season of spiritual training. Christ was being taught by spiritual masters of his time.
He studied deeply the things of the Spirit and the mysteries of heaven, preparing to lead people into eternal truth. Every place he visited became a source of spiritual awakening for him. People might say, he was already God, so he didn't need to learn anything. Yes, he was God, but he came as a man just like us. So then why has all of this been kept secret? Probably because if people knew, they might rise up and become more like Christ. And the world powers didn't want that. There's a great mystery here. If this had not been hidden, I'm sure many of us would be walking in supernatural power today. That's why Christ said, "You will do even greater works than I have done." Did he lie? Of course not. He knew we could study, learn, and walk in the same power. As for exactly where he went, I can't confirm. But I'm convinced he traveled, learning deeply about human nature and the mind.
He mastered the power of the body, the mind, and the spirit. Remember, in the Gospel of Thomas, Christ says that if you can marry the heart and the mind, you can move mountains. He knew what he was talking about. Part of his learning also included overcoming the flesh, understanding the inner self, and eternal spiritual life. These are some of the things he studied. He also learned about healing, the power of breath in preserving life. Christ studied how the universe connects to each person. As some say, God is in everyone. Let's just say it like this. God planted his image in us all, light and darkness, good and evil. He understood how the kingdom of heaven pushes back the darkness. He saw the importance of human free will, how we must align with the light and fight spiritual darkness. But in all of this, we cannot forget, he was led by the Spirit of God.
Among the things he learned was how to overcome pain and how to live from the truth that the kingdom of God is within you. Divinity isn't somewhere outside. It's within. Above all, it was the Spirit of God that empowered him, even though he had acquired great spiritual wisdom. And with that divine love, we now wait, because we are entering a time where these powers will be restored. Knowing all this can help us break free from earthly limitations, enter into deep spiritual knowledge, and truly understand our divine origin, what we call God. It will awaken us, helping us know who we are, why we're here, and the purpose of life. These were the 18 missing years of Christ. Thank you for listening.